Hey teaheads, this is Don from Mei Leaf. In this video, 4 festive drinks with tea. In this video, I'm going to be introducing you to a few of my favourite tea blends, and I'm going to be giving you a couple of Mei Leaf exclusive recipes perfect for any party. This video is going to go under the tea recipes playlist. If at any point in time you enjoy this video, then make sure you hit it with the thumbs up. The more thumbs in the air, the more tea videos are going to come your way. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, then go click that button. I'm speaking to you from the middle of November. The silly season is nearly upon us. No matter what your faith, November and December is a pretty hectic party season. So I thought that I would share with you some tips on how I introduce tea into the party. Now, whenever you go to a party, or whenever I go to a party, I'm frustrated by a few different things. The first is that there is not enough tea around. Not enough tea heads maybe, and certainly not enough tea. And so I like to bring some tea into the party. I like to introduce people to tea, but you're never going to be in a party situation able to sit down and have a proper gong fu session with 1 or 2 people. You're there to mingle, to socialize, so there's probably quite a few people around. And so you need to present them with teas that are a little bit more in your face, that don't have maybe the same level of subtle complexity, but are a little bit more upfront so that they can get into the flavors of tea. And so I think tea blends are the way to go. And in front of me, I have 3 of my favorite tea blends. The other thing that I find really frustrating when I go to a party is if you are driving or if you are feeling like you don't want to drink alcohol, there aren't that many great non-alcoholic options. So what I thought I would today do is introduce you to these blends and show you how you can brew them so that they make the perfect party evening. So what we have here is our Sensations tea tower. This is our tea tower. It's wrapped in Mei Leaf packaging here, so it's the perfect gift. And it's great to bring to any dinner party. So what I like to do whenever I go to a dinner party is I like to, or any party in general, is I like to bring this as my drinks contribution. That way I achieve a couple of things. The first thing is I know I'll have some good tea to drink at the party. And the second thing is I'll start to introduce many people into the world of true tea. So it serves 2 purposes, this, for yourself and for others. So in our Sensations tea tower contain 3 tins with these 3 teas in it. And I'm going to be introducing you to these teas and showing you how you can use them for any party. But before we do that, I think we should do a shot. So, for those of you who saw our Mei Leaf live session, Mei Leaf 4 live session, you will know that we drank Matchadita shots. And I thought that I would give you the recipe for how to make this, because this is one of the best ways to get the party started and keep the party going all night. So what I've done is I've taken a bunch of mint and a bunch of coriander. I like to use a little bit less coriander to mint, but it's up to you. So a small bunch of mint and a slightly smaller bunch of coriander. Pick off the leaves of the mint, give both of the herbs a good rough chopping, put them into a smoothie blender. Then I like to add some heat. So I like to add some green chili, and I think green is really important here because the whole purpose of this drink is a very vibrant green drink. So don't use red chilies. Instead, find yourself some nice green chilies, test the heat by cutting it in half and just testing on your tongue how hot and spicy the chili is. And then you need to make your own decisions. I like a spicy Matchadita. And so I've put in 2 chilies and 1 of them I haven't de-seeded. So give them a rough chop, put them into the blender, then take a few limes, again dependent on your taste, but I like to make it quite zingy, quite tangy. So I put 3 limes, give them a squeeze, make sure you get all the juice out, and then a litre of pineapple juice. So put a litre of pineapple juice in, give it a nice blitz up, really make sure it's all blended all together. And then what you want to do is take a bowl and put in some matcha. Now, we're using our Ceremonial grade matcha. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to pick some of that up. So Ceremonial grade matcha, You're not going to use your top grade Uji matchas because Quite honestly, you're not going to really discern the major differences in flavor once it's mixed in with all these ingredients, but you need to have a good high-grade matcha. So a good high-grade matcha, now the amount again depends on you. I like to put something in the region of 2 to 3 teaspoons per litre of liquid. So 2 to 3 teaspoons goes in a bowl, and then you want to strain some of your pineapple and herb mixture, just a little bit, into the matcha. Give it a good whisk up. We're using a milk frother. That's one of the best ways we found to mix it up nicely. Give it a good mix up, and once all the matcha is mixed in, then you can strain in the rest. Now make sure you strain it so you're leaving all of the mint and coriander pulp out of this drink. So you strain it through, give it a good squeeze through, a nice fine strained mesh. So now you've got a vibrant green juice. Just make sure you put that into a sealable bottle, use a funnel, put it into a sealable bottle, and you can refrigerate it. I would recommend that you make your Matchaditas as close to the party as possible. We made this last night. We've drunk quite a lot of it last night. We made this last night, and you can see that it's lost some of its vibrancy. It's still a nice green color, but it loses vibrancy relatively quickly, so make it as close to the party as possible. Now, you can use this just by themselves as shots, and I'm going to do that now, or you can use them as chasers. Traditionally, the Verdita, which this is inspired by, the Verdita is used as a chaser after some nice tequila, none of that cheap stuff. So a good tequila shot and then a shot of Verdita is incredible. So you can do that. You can do exactly the same with some tequila, some rum. You could do it with some bourbon. You could do it with your liquor of choice. But I like to just drink these pure as well, and they are a great non-alcoholic way of giving shots to people. And because of the theanine and the caffeine and the chili, it gives you a really nice energizing hit, but it still makes you feel good. The theanine gives you that whole kind of feel-good feeling. So I like to serve them just in a bottle like this with a bottle of hard liquor next to it. People can choose if they want virgin or if they want it with the hard liquor. We served this at our wedding, and people were drinking this thinking that there was liquor in it, and the next day they were saying to me, wow, those matcha drinks were really, really strong, and I had to inform them that there was no alcohol at all in them. So you can see that the effect of this is very, very strong without the liquor. So cheers, everybody. Sweetness of the pineapple juice, that fresh mintiness, the nice fragrant coriander really, really works here. The coriander really works. Don't be put off by the coriander. You're thinking that that's in savory foods. It's really nice. It works really, really well with the matcha. And then that good chili burn, and I like it spicy, it's nice. It kind of like just revs up the party when people are doing the shots and they get that burn as opposed to something which is too weak. So make sure you give it a good chili hit. And the matcha comes through. You can still taste that grassy, green, fresh cut. You've got a little bit of those slight green vegetal notes, but it's more about the herbaceous, bright notes of the matcha. That's what shines through, and these are an amazing way to start the party. So people are coming in, your guests are arriving, or you're arriving to the party, you're bringing your bottle of green stuff. That would get any party started. You walk in, they open the door, and you're there with your bottle of Matchadita and your bottle of tequila. You put them down, the party will begin, believe me. So a great way to start the party and a great way to keep the party going. So that's one recipe for you, the Matchadita. We use it at all of our staff parties, and it never, ever fails. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our 3 blends which are in this Sensations tea tower. So I'll quickly open this Sensations tea tower so you can see what it looks like inside. Celine has done some really nice drawings. You can see again the wrapping paper here, all tea related wrapping paper. And inside here are our 3 stackable tea tins, which are then obviously reusable, in 3 different colors. Here you go. And we have our selection of teas here. We have got Flying Monk, Butterfly Light, and Sweet Cheeks. So for those of you who have watched our videos before, you will know that I am passionate about the nuances and complexity of the pure leaf. And I've done a video before about how I think scented teas, especially artificially scented teas, can really detract people from that true tea journey. However, when you take top quality teas, so all of these teas are Mei Leaf teas, top quality teas, and you blend them so that the tea is the star of the show and you blend them with natural ingredients, then I think tea blends are a great way to introduce people into tea. And as I said, when you're in a party situation, you're not going to be able to have the opportunity to sit down and really find a moment to dive into the complexity and nuances of a gong fu tea session. And so these tea blends are a great way to introduce people to the myriad of flavors in true tea. So we're going to start. We're going to imagine that we've walked into the party, or we're hosting a party, and the first thing that we've done is we've done our Matchadita shot. So that's going to give us some energy, it's going to give us the theanine, it's going to make us very social, it's going to put us in a very good mood. Right, the next thing that generally happens is, especially at my house, we sit down and we have a feast. We have a really nice big meal. So the first tea that I think we should introduce to the party is a digestive, something that's going to help you so that after you've had that big feast, you're not going to be slouched on the sofa, you know, trying to recover for the next couple of hours. And so the first tea that we're going to talk about here is this one here. This is called Butterfly Light. Butterfly Light is a blend of rogue. Rogue is an oolong from Fujian, a strip oolong, very nice, rich, charcoal roasted oolong. And that's blended with a cooked pu'er with Fire Phoenix, which is one of our most popular cooked pu'ers, very earthy and cavernous and dark. And the combination is given a little lift with some aged orange peel, some chen pi, so orange or tangerine peel that's been aged for a few years. Now the result is you get this incredible brew which is perfect for digestion. It will help to clear out any bloatedness for those moments where you've overindulged, and let's face it, we tend all to overindulge during this season or any party season. So I'm going to put this into the connoisseur brewer. I'm going to get some hot water. So this is boiling water, 95 degrees, 205 Fahrenheit. I am going to give this a quick rinse, just because I can, because I've got a gong fu tray in front of me. Put this tea towel away. I'm already starting to feel that Matchadita. It's really starting to wake me up and just getting that little brain rewiring feeling going on. It's great stuff. Those Matchaditas are great. They are the ultimate party starter. All right, so now I'm not going to do full tastings with all of these teas. Otherwise we'll be here for a very, very long time. But I just wanted to do a quick tasting of all of them so you can know what to expect. So we're going to give that a quick brew, and we are going to be pouring it. Let's serve it in these cups. So you can take a little look at the liquor here. There you go. Kind of light, nutty brown liquor. It will get darker as you brew. Now, I'm brewing in a connoisseur tea brewer, which is great for a small group of people. If you are in a party situation, then obviously you're going to be using more. You can brew it in a larger teapot. Just try to make sure you get the leaf to water ratio about right for gong fu style. The instructions are written on the website, so you can take a look there. Right, let's give this a taste. Been a while since I've had this one actually. The balance is great. So I'm first of all hit with a little bit of that cellar, apple cellars that come from the cooked pu'er. And then I'm getting that nutty charcoal roasted and very difficult to describe if you've never had yen cha before, but this kind of rock minerality, this this rockiness that comes from the rogue, and then I'm getting this bright but not acidic and not too zesty taste from the chen pea or the orange peel. And the aging of the orange peel is really important. It just mellows it out, it gives it a slight medicinal quality. And it's so cleansing, this tea. Honestly, this is the perfect tea, not just for any party, but if you have overindulged, let's say it's Friday night, you've ordered in takeaway and you've overindulged a bit, this is the tea to break out because it's a really, really great digestive. But in a party situation, there's nothing worse when everyone's hyper and they've sat down and they've had a great meal, that everyone just kind of goes into that food coma and finds that they're falling asleep because they can't digest the food quickly enough. This is great after a meal, but the strength of it, the richness of it, means that it would work with food as well. I can imagine this working with most foods. Definitely it could stand up against any kind of meat dishes, some stronger vegetarian dishes. If you were going to be serving a lighter tea, it probably wouldn't be able to stand up to most meals, but this one certainly can. One more quick taste of this tea. Oh, the aromatics of the three ingredients work so well together, really, really balanced, and that's the key with blends. We went through lots and lots of different blends when we were creating our Mei Leaf blends. We had about an 80–90% failure rate because it's all about getting the right balance where all of the different nuances and flavors of the teas are allowed to shine, that they're not being covered over, but actually that combined together they make a really wonderful whole. So there you go. You've come in, you've had your Matchaditas to start, either with or without liquor. You've had your meal, and you've digested, or you've drunk along this Butterfly Light to help you digest, so that after your meal, your Butterfly Light, you're ready to keep partying. What's the next drink? Well, the next one we have in our Sensations tea tin, tea tower, is this one. This is Flying Monk. And Flying Monk is a blend of our GABA oolong, so amber GABA, which is one of our most favorite oolongs and certainly one of our clients' favorites. And that contains GABA, and GABA is a neurotransmitter which may assist to just calm the body a little bit, keep it relaxed. And then what we do is we combine that with River High. Now River High is a blended oolong tea, and that blend contains ginseng to give you that energy boost, and licorice, which is a MAO inhibitor, and that helps to keep the party mood going. Finally, we have some very fragrant osmanthus flowers. I'll bring this blend closer to the camera. Maybe you can get a better view here. Very important. Now you'll see ginseng oolong, renshen oolong in a lot of shops, okay? Very important. This is ginseng oolong here. Let me see if I can just take a pellet here. Now what you want to see with ginseng oolong is you don't want to see uniform big pellets. So if you go to a shop and they have ginseng oolong and you've got pellets which are very uniform and quite big, that generally means, I'm not going to say it's a solid rule, but generally it means that it's lower grade oolong tea and lower grade renshen oolong. What you want to see is this kind of little knobbly pellets where you can see that it's actual rolled leaf. It's not just they've taken the leaf, they've powdered it up and they've crunched it into these pellets. You want to see proper leaves like this. You want to see it, and it will have this kind of grey matte look to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to brew this one Gong Fu style just to taste it, and then I'm going to share with you a little recipe that we came up with for how you can actually make this into a little bit more of a festive drink. So I'm going to put this into the pot here, give it a smell. Lots of that. The osmanthus flowers really give a sort of almondy and apricot note to it. So I'm getting almonds and apricots, and I know that that is a lot to do with the osmanthus flowers. Now, again, there's no artificial flavors in any of these blends. There's nothing, nothing dodgy in here. Really, it's all about taking good ingredients, blending them together to create this party drink. Okay, let's give it a smell of that wet leaf. Now I'm getting more of the oolong. I'm getting that nice, slight tangy note from the amber GABA and the sweet licorice note from the Renshen oolong or River High. I'll put links to all of these recipes, and I'll put links to all of the teas in the description below so you can pick up any that take your fancy. So we're going to let that brew. Because they're ball rolled, you know, you need to leave it about 20 seconds. If you strain it off too quickly, especially with the first infusion, it's not going to be strong enough. So just leaving that, really nice to watch how those osmanthus flowers float to the top and the Renshen oolong and amber GABA start to unfurl before your eyes. So the combination of ginseng, GABA, licorice, oolong, the theanine in oolong, and that uplifting note from the osmanthus, and the reason why we call this flying monk is because for us this is a really great starter tea to move people into that concept of tea drunkenness, which we talk about quite a lot, especially with kind of aged white teas and with raw pu'er teas. Let's taste it in this little cup here. Here we go. The color is similar, but a little bit more kind of whiskey colored. So you could now serve this to people who wanted a non-alcoholic hot drink after their meal. You could even ice this tea. It is delicious. Oh, it is delicious iced as well. So you could ice this tea beforehand. So you could have iced flying monk ready to go. The taste, I'm getting a lot of that osmanthus. The osmanthus is very bright, very floral. Apricots, almonds, frangipan. I'm getting that slight licorice note. The oolong tea will start to reveal itself a little bit more in second infusions. So if you're brewing this for a big group, then obviously you're going to be mixing infusions or brewing less leaf for a longer period of time. And I know from experience that this gives a really nice sustained energy boost, but keeps you calm. So you're calm, you're feeling good, but you're not sleepy. You've got that nice sustained slow release energy that comes from the ginseng and some of the caffeine in this tea. So this is a great way if you want to serve it pure, but I thought we would experiment a little bit with this tea. So what I've done is I've made a kind of version of a vegan eggnog, right? Or a vegan creamy drink. Now, I don't know about you, but in the UK, one of the most popular drinks are those kind of creamed Irish liqueurs like Bailey's. Other creamy Irish liqueurs are available. And so that's a real Christmas drink in the UK. And a lot of people, they sit and they enjoy that kind of indulgent, sweet, creamy drink. But we can do something with this tea. So what I did last night was I took a litre of hemp milk. Now you can use normal milk here, but I thought I'd make a vegan recipe here. You can use any nut milk of your choice or oat milk, whatever you like. I used hemp milk, so we used a litre of hemp milk, and we put 20 grams of flying monk straight into the cold milk. We broke a cinnamon stick in half and threw that in, and then we added a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and we could have added a vanilla pod at this point, sliced in half, but we have this incredible vanilla pod extract, which is literally the scrapings from inside of the vanilla pod, and we put in about a 1/4 teaspoon of that very strong vanilla. And then you bring it to the heat, bring it to the heat, high heat. As soon as you start to see it bubbling, but don't let it boil, turn the heat as low as possible, cover it, leave it for 20 minutes. Leave it simmering on the lowest heat possible for 20 minutes. If you don't have a low enough heat, then you might have to kind of take it off the heat a little bit and bring it back to the heat. But 20 minutes is what we found is the right level for this brew. After 20 minutes, what you want to do is take a smoothie blender, put into that blender about 200 grams of silken tofu. Very, very soft tofu. Don't use firm tofu. It has to be silken tofu, super soft tofu. Again, you can make this in a non-vegan way. You could use milk and you could use eggs, just like the traditional eggnog, but I think that this vegan version works very well. So take that silken tofu, 200 grams, put it in a blender, and then strain the hot Flying Monk milk concoction over the tofu and blitz it up. Really give it a good blend, and that tofu will act as an emulsifier and make it very creamy and delicious. Now you can serve that hot, just like hot eggnog. This is our Flying Monk creamy drink, hot. Or what we did last night is we made it and we refrigerated it. Now this is the first time I'm trying it cold, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to put these away. So much tea for me to drink later. This is a good thing. Now, I like to serve it in something like this. Give it less of that kind of classic tea vibe. Give this a shake to make sure, because it will start to settle a little bit. But you can see, lovely color, really nice. Got that milky, creamy, enticing shade of brown to it. And we're going to see what this tastes like. So you can see the texture here is really, really good. 200 grams of tofu for a litre of milk, we found about right, but if you want it thicker, then add a bit more tofu. Here you go, quick look before I taste. So this is like a nice spiced, allspice, cinnamon, vanilla, wintry kind of drink, but I'm drinking it cold. It works very well cold if it's a warmer day, but wintertime, I think that these creamy drinks tend to work better if they're room temperature or warm. I forgot to say, you need to add sugar to this, or your sweetener of choice. You could use stevia, you could use whatever your favorite sweetener is, because you need to, the tea milk combination does have quite a strong taste to it. You need to make sure that you soften it with some sweetener. I put in, I think, about 5 tablespoons of brown sugar in, which is right for me, but you might want to add more or less. So make sure you add sweetener to your tastes. Really, really nice. I'm getting the spice, those kind of festive spices, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, but the tea is still coming through. I'm getting that licorice, I'm getting the oolong, and those top notes, those slightly frangipane apricot notes of the osmanthus flowers. Of course, you can add liquor to this if you'd like. I think bourbon would work really, really well with this. So you can certainly add alcohol if you want to. What I've done here is I've made some bourbon glazed pecans, really, really simple. Take some raw pecan nuts, toast them in a dry pan, throw over some salt, some sugar, some black pepper, a bit of butter, and then hit it with good bourbon so you can make a nice glaze. Just cook that through so that the glaze dries up and goes all sticky on the pecans. Peppery but sweet. Works very, very well with the creamy Flying Monk. So there you have the second blend, Flying Monk, either pure or in this vegan creamy eggnog style. Both really, really great ways to keep the party going. Finally, we are on to our last blend. This one here. This is called Sweet Cheeks. Sweet Cheeks was designed as our kind of cleansing, beautifying blend. It contains our white peony, so top grade, high quality Baimudan. You can see the grade of the leaves here. Really, really nice. Really full buds, full leaves. We're not messing around here with these blends. You've got to use the best stuff possible. Then we've got rosebuds, and we have some jujube, which is red date, really, really good for you, and adds a nice sweetness to it. And finally, we have a little bit of lemongrass here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this guru out the way. So I can hear you asking, what has this got to do with the party? Well, for me, this Sweet Cheeks is the ultimate day after drink. So you've indulged in a little bit too much alcohol, you've been partying, you've had a late night. The next day, you want a cleansing, cleaning, and slightly beautifying drink. So we've got the Sweet Cheeks here. Pour over. So the white tea has a real cleansing function, good anti-collagenase function as well, keeps your skin in tip-top condition. You've got the jujube, full of antioxidants. You've got the red rose, which is very clearing in Chinese medicine. And finally, you've got some lemongrass just to give you that freshness and keep you nice and awake the next day. So let's give this a proper brew. And we're going to put this through a filter into a Gongdao Bay here and give this a taste. So after all of that partying, waking up to a brew like this is exactly what you need. Nice colour, golden colour. There you go. Cheers, everybody. Exactly what you need. It has this real feeling of cleansing. It really feels clearing. It feels detoxifying. Lemongrass and the rose gives it that herbal kick, that kind of herbal tea taste. But then you've got the nuttiness, the creaminess of that really high-grade Baimudan, white peony. I would be very happy to nurse my weary head the next day with this Sweet Cheeks. So there you have it. 4 different drinks, 3 different blends for the party season. One of them to get the party started, one of them to help you to digest so that you don't feel bloated after feasting, one of them to keep the party going, and then finally your nursing tea for the next day. So these 3 blends are in our Sensations Tea Tower. I think it makes a really, really great gift to introduce people into the world of true tea. But as I said, what I like to do is I keep a few of them in my home, and whenever I know I'm going to a party or a dinner party, this is my go-to gift. It means that I'm going to be introducing people to tea, but it also means that I'm going to have good stuff to drink at the party. That's it, tea heads. If you made it to the end of this video, then please give the video the thumbs up, check out our YouTube playlist, and let us know if there are any videos that you would like us to make. If you're ever in London, then come visit us in Camden to say hi and taste our wares. If you have any questions or comments, then please fire them over. Other than that, I'm Don May from Mei Leaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags, keep drinking the good stuff, and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.